Hey guys, so my name's Ian, I'm currently 18 years old, and from the title of this video, I just want to talk about why some teenagers need just a part-time job, even if it's just one shift. Because by just having a job, it not only teaches a person or a student independence early in their life, because after you graduate from college or school or high school, you're immediately thrown into this depth of just this whole world of finances, taxes, and all those things. And when you actually get into the real world, you actually start to wish that the school system could have actually taught you more of that, of more your taxes, for how to handle finances, your expenses, and all those things. And so most times I wish that people or teens could just experience what it's like to be working in the workforce, or just even if it's just a working at McDonald's or just some part-time job, right? It doesn't essentially need to pay a lot, but it's just something to just get a feel for what it is or how hard you have to work in order to make that money. And so by realizing how hard you actually have to work to earn a specific amount of money, you become a little bit more humbled by the fact that how hard your parents work for you, right? And so so many students just take that for granted, that they can just spend like however many dollars or pounds or euros or on just food, sweets, and all that stuff from their parents' money. And so I remember when I was just 13 years old, my dad stopped giving me pocket money, and so I had to find other ways to make money when I was back in South Africa. And so when ever since I came to Jersey when I was 17 years old, I actually I had such a drive to get started in a part-time job, because it's not only more rewarding, but you also get you always want to work more hours just to get a little bit more money. And you have that sense of, I can buy anything I want because it's more rewarding since it's my money. And you actually begin to think about how much your parents actually spend on you. And not only that, but they have to cover the costs of the rent, or for your house, your electricity bills, all those type of things, especially your clothing, school fees, and how many more things as well. And so I actually wonder, because there is a large percentage of this world of students who don't actually know or understand how hard you actually have to work in order to earn money. And so once you have that experience, you begin to wonder if a 9 to 5 job is actually what you want in life. Is this actually what you're looking forward to when you're older? But that's another topic for another time. But the other thing I want to point out is that you become a bit more humbled, and you become more grateful for the things that you actually have, and you begin to take into consideration what you actually have and what you actually want to spend money on. You become more weary of prices and how much you're willing to spend on that. Of course, what I've recently been doing is that I've just been keeping a record on like an Excel sheet or something like that. And I've just started to keeping track of all the snacks or drinks and all the expenses I have been doing over the past month. And once you actually total up the amount at the end of the month, you begin to realize, wow, I actually spend so much money on these things that I actually can be saving. And that's the other benefit of earning your own money. Because after you earn that amount of money, you don't want to spend a lot, because it's nice to have a lot of money or have a recurring amount of money in your bank account as a student. And so just knowing that if you have that amount of money, what you look forward to that big thing, whether it's a motorcycle or whether it's something expensive that you want. And when you save up recurringly all your money that you have hard workingly earned from, it begins to total up at the end, and you begin to realize that every month you actually begin to earn a lot more money. Wow, that's kind of obvious, isn't it? I'm gonna keep it like this. I'm not gonna like edit this out or anything. I'm just gonna show you guys. I do stumble a bit, and I'm just getting more familiar with the camera and all that. And it teaches you independence, right? Which is the best part of it. And so I go to school every day knowing that there is only 20% of the students that actually work part-time jobs. And it's with knowing that is that you actually feel a bit more grateful that you're actually more awake in a sense about how much you're actually spending about all these things. But not only that, but you can also imply it or transfer that amount of knowledge to your future self, and then that you begin to feel a bit more proud of yourself. You feel like you've accomplished more than what you've ever done in your life, but you feel as if you're growing up to be an adult. And I've always felt when I was younger that that you always wished that you could be a grown-up, right? That you could be a grown-up and you could just have money to spend and all that stuff. And it's so nice to have just money that you can spend on sweets, like games and all that stuff. And you begin to realize that you don't actually need that stuff. It's just what you want. But when you actually think about your needs that you actually need, such as the food that you actually need to eat, your water, or just basic general needs, right? For everyday students, you really might not have a lot of needs, but you get my point. Now, some of the drawbacks that you might experience from working a part-time job is that your friends, once they find out, they actually will begin to mock you and talk behind your back and all these things. And you just begin to realize how actually lazy they actually are. And they're not willing to put in the amount of effort that you are willing to put in behind the counter or whatever job that you're doing. And it's just, and at the beginning, you might not earn a lot, but you actually begin to appreciate every amount of money that you earn from your work. But also have to start, not only have to work now, you also have to balance your school life, sports, and other activities. And also you have to give up spending time with your friends. And so let's give an example. That they're having a party on Friday night, right? All the boys are hanging out there, all the chicks are there and everything. But now, oh, you forgot to tell you forgot to tell your manager that you weren't supposed to work that day. But now you're like, I have to miss it now, which is unfortunate, you know? But that's the price of working. Even when you get older, you also have to sacrifice some things, such as spending time with your kids. And you also have to reduce the amount of time you actually have to contribute to your kids at home. But the other disadvantage is that you do have to handle with some crappy customers. Like I remember this one time, this one lady, she came in and she ordered a whole bunch of different things. And so I repeat back to her everything that she said. She ordered, the food comes, I assemble it all together for her. And then next thing you know, oh, I didn't order that. I'm like, what are you talking about? I literally repeated it back to you so that you can agree with me about everything you just ordered. And then they said, no, I didn't want that, I wanted this. And it's like, well, then all you have to do is just smile and put up with people's crap, you know. and it's all those things. But that's how life goes, man. You have to put aside some of your emotional things just in order to keep that job. Otherwise, your boss is not going to be very impressed with you. Yeah. But yeah, that's everything I wanted to say for today. I hope you guys at least gained some knowledge out of this. And if you guys want to, you guys can subscribe to my channel and keep seeing or keep watching more of this amazing content that I think is kind of amazing, that I'm putting out there for you guys. So see you guys in the next one. Cheers.